In our previous two videos in this series, we took an owner's job card, set up the job in UnitsPro, imported the job using our PDF scraper technology. Once the job was entered, we assigned the work to a work group. We went to that work group, assigned the work to a crew, and sequenced it into their work list. Now we're going to jump over from the main application into the Android application. We use our Android application for any information that needs to be provided into the database from the field. In this video, I'm using a Knox Player Android emulator configured as a Samsung tablet, and I have it in a landscape mode. We've downloaded it from the Play Store, installed it, and put our credentials in, and we're going to log in now. When we log in, we see the modules for which this individual has access rights to. Additionally, we have reference information available to us, spec documents. So we'll typically get the technical specification documents from the owner and go ahead and load them into UnitsPro for easy reference and access by the crews. We do not have the Encore specification documents, so I've just put some placeholder information in here to demonstrate. This will come up as a PDF, and it's available to print, view, email, whatever is necessary. If we go back, we also have a placeholder for reference documents. These can be documents that either the owner or the work group wants available to their crews in the field. Safety manuals, procedures, processes, instruction manuals, whatever. A PDF is best viewed, but we can accommodate just about anything. And then we also have our help manual. It's an online help book that's available to the crews. So let's go into My Jobs. When we do, you'll note that we have our active jobs, jobs that we previously started and worked on, and our pending start jobs that we as a foreman have been assigned to, but these jobs have not yet been started. In this plus area, we could go in there and see a listing of all other active or pending start jobs for which we have not been associated, but we can assign ourselves to them if we've been so directed. We also have numerous reports available for the foreman to run to look at time and productivity related information. Go back to the active tab, and we're going to go focus on this job. If we long hold, it brings up a menu where we can see some basic information about the job, and we can see any documents that we've loaded in the job pertinent to the crew. So here's the job card. And now that's available for the crew's use and inspection. Prints, permits, any other information that could be used by the crew would be listed in this section. If we click once, it brings us into our job days. I'm going to go ahead and open our Monday job day. And what this is looking to do is to get our roster information for the day inputted into UnitsPro so that we can develop and send out roster reports to the owners if required. So this is bringing in our crew from yesterday. We can validate this crew. We can amend it by clicking on the person, change their classification, change their status, inactive, sick for the day. I'm not going to do this, just want to demonstrate it. We could add additional personnel, add equipment, or add rental equipment. Here's our equipment list. And again, we can modify this as necessary, inactivate it, put the reasons why. And have our roster of labor and equipment for the crew first thing in the morning before we even start work, get our roster reports out. Everyone knows who's working where. When we're complete with this, and this typically only takes a couple of minutes if these crews aren't moving around quite a bit as far as personnel goes. And we're done. We check it out. Takes us back to our jobs dashboard. Close the app, go to work. At the end of the day, we come back in and we go to our pending end of day. We've could have gone straight to end of day from our beginning of day. Just wanted to demonstrate that you can get out and get back in. So now we come in, and here's all of our locations for our job. Again, if you long hold, brings up information about that location. If there were any documents stored at that associated with that location, they would be available here. Any information about homeowners, special request, whatever is pertinent specifically to that one location. If you single click on it, it opens up the location. And now we can see all of the units that were designed for this location. And we're going to go ahead and start completing our work. We've estimated 1, we've completed 0, leaving 1 to do. A single check will complete that line item to estimate. If we check again, that will uncomplete it. A unit is available to be uncompleted as long as it's not been approved by the inspector or billed. Either of those actions will cause this to lock and you can no longer uncomplete it. If you need to partially complete a unit, you long hold on it, brings up a window. We've got 3 planned, we've got 2 done. So we have 1 to go. If tomorrow we come in and want to complete that remaining 1, we just check and it will complete the remaining. So now we're up to 3. So we can go through here and mark off our work as completed at this location. We can change locations by either going next or going back to the main and looking for the location we want. We can also, while we're in here, add additional units. Now, one thing to note is it got out and came back in, and all those completed units appear to be gone. And what has happened is completed units sort to the bottom of the list. We keep the focus on what needs to be done, not what was done. So keep these right up here. We're going to complete just a couple more so we've got some decent material. And the foreman is going to go ahead and add a unit. So we'll hit the plus here. He believes that he's due 4 hours of wait time because the inspector told him to wait on the inspector before he did anything today. And the inspector was an hour late getting there, 4-man crew, 4 hours of wait. Not if I knew what the unit was, I could start typing it in here, but I don't. So I'm going to use my filtering mechanism. Come in here and take a look by section. I don't know what section it is, but I think it's crew something. Oh yeah, the crew and equipment. There we go. And I can go ahead and search in that section. And here's all of my units there. So here's overhead 3, 4, 5 person crew straight time. Select that. So I'm adding that with a quantity 4 with a comment wait per FLS instructions. And now we can add and complete this, or just add it and complete it later. In this case, we're going to go ahead and add and complete it. So here that line item is. And because this was not in the original job, the design quantity behind the scenes was 0. This has just generated a change order, and this cannot go to billing without the approval of the authorized individual. In this job, the inspector is authorized to approve change orders of this nature. That's configurable within the system. So once we've gone through and completed all of the appropriate units at the appropriate locations, we proceed in the workflow. And our task that we did today is we worked on units. We set our hours, 10 hours. It shows our times. If our start time was different or our end time was different, we could modify those and they would back calculate or front calculate. We could put additional comments if appropriate here. And this shows our summary for the average individual on the crew. We can modify the split between straight time and overtime. This is calculated given rules in the system. Right now the rules for this work group is anything before 7 in the morning is overtime, anything after 1700 is overtime, anything over 40 hours a week is overtime. All other time is straight time. So we're satisfied with this. We go next. It takes those 10 hours of straight time and it parses it to each individual. At this point, we can modify any individual's time. This groundman went home after 8 hours, so we can go ahead and change that and do a individual by individual update. We could also inactivate a person. We could add a person. You also know if per diems are being paid by the work group, they're indicated here based on rules established in the system. Go next to our equipment. And here we have all of our equipment on the job. Again, we can inactivate, we can click and change the hours. We can add rental equipment or owned equipment at this point. Once we're satisfied with our equipment, we come to our summary tab. It shows the summary for the day and the summary for the week and the totals for the day and the week. So it's pretty simple since this is Monday. Here's our equipment. We can go ahead and run our timesheet if we desire. These reports are very configurable. We work with our owners to make sure that all reports that would go to the owner are approved by and consistent with the owner's needs and requirements. If this meets their needs, we run with it. Pretty simple. Job header. It has our labor information, including start and end time, and the hours, our equipment. Any comments? A big note here that this work group's management has not yet reviewed and approved this timesheet, so it's preliminary. Weather data will come into the timesheet on the following mid-shift. We utilize a weather service. We'll go grab that data, bring it in, and if we ran this report tomorrow, this would populate. Here's a list of the units we completed today and the locations, and you know the proposed change order on here. Very clearly stated in red. Any positive change order, a change order that's going to cost the customer more money, will be in bold red. If it's a negative change order, it's going to be in bold green. If the customer desires that these be sent to them at this point, open up the email on our app, address it, and send it. At this point, we're done, and we go back to work.